there was black activists at the time speaking about the evils of the crime bill. That's who Bernie Sanders was talking to when he was on the floor, when he was warning about the harmful effects the crime bill will have if it passed. He was talking to those same activists that were fighting in the street. You know who supported it? The Black Congressional Caucus. So they used the Black Congressional Caucus to manufacture consent of the black community towards right-wing policy. What I mean by that, Jim Clyburn takes more money from health insurance companies than anyone else in Congress. And now what I say earlier, Medicare for All is the most pro-black policy platform that you can advocate for in mainstream political discourse right now, that and reparations. Jim Clyburn is against Medicare for All. And you guys think that has nothing to do with his health insurance company money? The most pro-black policy he's against. They are against defund the police. So despite another lie, which I cover on my show, because once again, black leftists, we call this lie. And this one, and when a lot of white progressives were covering defund the police, they was getting it wrong too. One main narrative was defund the police was supported by deeply out of touch white bourgeoisie progressives who are disconnected with the black community. But the black community, we always know the value of the police. And then what Al Sharpton, he said on CNN, Jim Clyburn said that in an interview as well. He's like, oh, these just white people pushing this idea. You guys understand that last summer, even when defund the police was at its most unpopular, and it gained a lot of ground since then, the only people that supported it was black people and Democrats. And the only reason why Democrat number was so high, because you had so many Latino and black people who supported it, it boosted those numbers. So that narrative was always a lie. But that narrative was propped up by black oligarchs like Al Sharpton, Jim Clyburn said it, Barack Obama was hinted towards it. So this is what the Black Congressional Caucus has done in a quick nutshell. I can go all day. But in a quick nutshell, what they do is they apologize on behalf of our ruling class and our oppressive systems. The W.E.B. Du Bois wrote, I'm going to end it with this last quote because I can talk about this all day. But W.E.B. Du Bois wrote about this in Socialism in the American Negro decades and decades and decades ago. Because this issue and this problem that we have is not new. This issue, this problem of black people selling out their community is as old as the slave trade themselves. It's old as the slave trade. And W.E.B. Du Bois says there's a phenomenon where black Americans find their way, their emancipation out of oppressive state. They see that the way out of that is gaining political power and then joining the forces of oppression and marginalizing the same community you came from and others, because that's how you emancipate yourself from this racist system. Now he was right, because now Barack Obama got a mansion in Martha Vineyard. Yeah. Jim Clyburn lived a life of privilege. The black congressional oligarchs, like you said, they run cover for the Democrat Party. Because John Lewis, he lived a life of privilege and luxury. But meanwhile, look at the black radicals who did not follow the neoliberal agenda. They was killed. Fred Hampton was killed. MLK was killed because he was anti-imperialist. He was speaking out against the Vietnam War. He trying to start a poor people campaign, and they killed him. Meanwhile, you got John Lewis, who's complicit with starting the Libyan slave trade because he voted to give congressional approval to Barack Obama. So no matter what John Lewis has done in his career, I have no respect for him because he's complicit with the slave trade in Libya right now. He was a warmonger. He had a pro-war voting record to back it up. So nothing you did in the civil rights movement can stop me from, like, your reputation is ruined to me because of what you've done as a ruling class member. But the people who wouldn't fall in line, they was killed or they was excommunicated or they was in prison like Angela Davis was. But the people who wanted to assimilate into the political system, they was rewarded for it. And this is going to be a problem we had to deal with for a long time until more people like us at Fred Hampton Leftists called us out. But the good news is, I know I went very long here, but the last good news is young black people are waking up to this. Young black people are seeing through the nonsense of Barack Obama. Young black people are leaving the Democrat Party in droves. Once again, young black people supported Bernie Sanders. So it's a generational divide. We are starting to see through this neoliberal nonsense we've been sold our entire lives. Young black people are way more likely to be critical. We hated Kamala Harris. We hate Barack Obama. Like this is something that's changing in the black community. So that's the positive thing I can take from that.
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of people in the chat are talking about defund the police and, what that should constitute, how it should look.
I think we need to take the money from the police and give it to the firefighters.
But
I did a lot of work on 10 demands. And now there's actually, I am very passionate about this issue. And if there's anyone who's against this issue, let me pose this question to the progressives out there. Because you guys know the majority of American people support ending the drug war, right? Bernie Sanders, he said he don't support defund the police, but he supports ending the drug war. Do you guys know why the police budget blew up in the first place? I am asking people to use their damn brain on this, because when the issue of law enforcement and we talk about policing, this is where people are so dumb. This is where the propaganda hits them so hard. The decades of propaganda. They watch Law and Order and they see the cops like, oh, they really want to care about busting the criminal, and then it's literally just propaganda. Cops do not solve violent crime. They solve less than 2%. They do not do anything for your community that you think they do. You know what they do? They show up at protests to crack the heads of Black Lives Matter demonstrators. That's what they do. They show up to break up worker strikes. If you think the cops stop crime, you need to pay attention to what's actually going on. That's not true. And one more thing, how are you going to be supportive of ending the drug war? How are you going to be supportive of all these things? But where's that money supposed to go? Do you guys know that we spend literally about 3 times more on the NYPD budget than North Korea spend on their entire military budget? So justify that to me. I don't see the comments, but is there anyone who's against defund the police?
No,
I'm asking that. I'm just saying.
I think that there is a silver bullet. I think, like most issues, there's always something that you could do that absolutely would dramatically change policing in the United States, and that, of course, is ending qualified immunity.
Well, that has to happen, and that helps, but it doesn't address the criminal issue. But what I want to say is that the police need to be compensated for solving crimes. So I think if you give them credit, like, why don't they deal with their rape kits? Why aren't they solving existing crimes? Like you said, they close what percentage of cases? See, that's right. That is kind of money we should be spending. See, law enforcement should be like it should be more like investigation. We need people after the fact to look into stuff to then make sure that there aren't people on the street that are dangerous. We don't need people patrolling and proactively searching and finding people to arrest. So I had this idea, like the incentive should be for closing cases, not arresting people. But I am very much into heavily defunding the police. And I think that's money. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.